1045 The Team and 1045theteam.com. The 16th annual Travis Roy Foundation Wiffle Ball Tournament will be held August 11th to the 13th in Essex, Vermont. And I'm here with Anthony Alspelmeyer. He's on a team that will be competing in the event. He is from the Capital Region, grew up in Glenville. Anthony, how did you get into this tournament?
Oh, man, I was really lucky to actually play in a competitive wiffle ball league in Glenville for about a decade, and then what happened was the guy that was running the league in Glenville, he had a new neighbor move in. The neighbor realized, hey, there's a bunch of grown men playing wiffle ball adjacent to my house. So he comes over, and it turns out he was a part of the Travis Roy tournament, and he had a team. It's actually pretty tough to get a team into the tournament, but he had a team already, and they were looking for about 2 or 3 guys, and luckily enough, he chose me to be one of those guys, and I'm definitely grateful for that.
For those that haven't really heard about Travis's story, can you tell us more about that?
Yeah, Travis Roy was an excellent hockey player growing up, and was actually a freshman at Boston University, made it that far, and if you know anything about college hockey, you know that freshmen, they don't really get ice time, but Travis was so good that he was going to be getting ice time for Boston University for their hockey team, and then unfortunately, within the first 30 seconds of being on the ice, he crashed into the boards and was paralyzed. And ever since then, Travis, basically what I tell people is if that were to happen to me, I would not be nearly as strong as Travis Roy was. Travis picked himself up and started the Travis Roy Foundation, and since then, he has been making good out of his injury. He's been making good for everybody else really around the world that has these spinal cord injuries, and there's tons of people that come to the tournament every year that, you see them in their wheelchairs, and they all have stories of how the Travis Roy Foundation has positively impacted them or helped them personally, and it's really inspiring. That's what it is. Travis Roy is probably one of the most inspiring people that you'd ever have the chance to meet.
I remember the first time I found out about the Travis Roy Foundation. It was actually through a 30 for 30 that was on ESPN, and you sent it to me a few times, and it's one of the better 30 for 30s out, or E60s out there. Not a 30 for 30. It should be a 30 for 30. We need a 30 for 30
Yeah, we do need
Travis
a 30
Roy.
for 30 on that.
But yeah, it was a great E60. What was it like seeing the E60? Like what was it like knowing that you knew Travis Roy and how inspirational he was?
Well, it was kind of surreal. I mean, I remember the year, it was a couple years now that the ESPN team came up there, and they were there, with flying drones and all sorts of really awesome TV equipment, and they were also moving so fluidly you didn't even know they were there. But at the same time, everybody's like, oh my God, ESPN's here. They're filming an E60. Like, let's try and get on the camera. But when it came out, it was like destination programming. Everybody had to sit down and watch it. And ESPN did such a great job. But you're right. You really could do a 30 for 30, or even maybe we need Ezra Eldman to do a whole docu-series on it, because 15 minutes is what it was. And that definitely, there's no amount of time that could really tell that whole story. But yeah, it was awesome.
Let's fast forward to the tournament now. What is it like to be at this tournament? What's the atmosphere like when you're there?
Oh man, it's really unlike any other wiffle ball tournament. I've played in a lot of wiffle ball tournaments, and that's probably funny for people to hear. Like wiffle ball tournaments, there are organized wiffle ball tournaments and leagues all over the country, and I've had the pleasure of playing in the national wiffle ball tournament on multiple occasions in Ohio. And even that tournament, it just doesn't compare to the Travis Roy Foundation tournament. Everybody is in great spirits and a great mood. Everybody is there for one common cause and coming together. And even though I've only been a part of the team, this is my 3rd year now, it really is a family atmosphere. Everybody up there kind of knows each other. And even though we're competing and trying to win, everybody's there for one common goal, and that's to raise money for the foundation.
In the tournament, what's the format like? And then give us a little bit about your team that you're playing on. Tell us about these guys and how they come together for the event.
Yeah, so the format is pretty cool because what it is it's a slow pitch tournament. So, I've played in other tournaments where guys are actually throwing the wiffle ball 85 plus miles an hour.
Wow.
Believe it or not. And that has been checked by radar for those of you that are maybe not believing that. But it's cool. The Travis Roy tournament, anybody can really play. There's teams with kids. There's teams with older folks. And it's like I want to say it's like a 50 mile an hour limit, 55 miles an hour. And it's pretty cool because everybody can compete. Any team can win. I have the luxury of playing on one of the better teams in the tournament. A couple years ago, we finished, I believe, third. And that was a lot of fun. But my team, we're looking to win it this year. We've got 3 Capital Region guys. So there's a element there where we want to represent the Capital Region of New York for sure. But it's myself and, like I said, 2 other Capital Region guys, but then we have a number of guys from Vermont on our team as well that we've really all become family over the past couple of years.
And what's your team name?
We are the Juggernauts. We've gone through a couple team name changes because over the past couple of years we've let a sponsor. We've taken on like the team name of one of our sponsors. So one year we were a solar company from Vermont.
You're not the Chico's Bail Bonds?
No, not Chico's Bail Bonds, unfortunately. We were the Spartans, the Spartan race, actually, the popular team race there. They sponsored us one year, so we were the Spartans. But now we're back to the Juggernauts, and we plan to stay that way for some time.
104.5 The Team, still talking with Anthony Alspelmeyer. He is a Capital Region guy playing in the Travis Roy Foundation Wiffle Ball Tournament coming up August 11th through the 13th. Let's go with this. What is it like to play at some of those fields that they have there? They have a park called Little Fenway and Little Wrigley. What is it like to play in those?
Okay, so it's pretty sweet. That's by far the most fun thing for me is when I first found out that I was going to get to play in this tournament. Is you see pictures of Little Fenway and Little Wrigley, and then there's also Little Field of Dreams too. And I tell people, I'm like, oh yeah, I played on Little Fenway, and they I don't think they really can grasp that this is a like downscaled exact replica of Fenway Park. I'm talking bullpens, I'm talking sit-go sign, I'm talking the old school scoreboard, the triangle, everything. Wrigley Field has actual ivy from Wrigley Field growing on the walls. I believe they took a small portion and then grew it over the course of a few years.
Wow.
And now there's actual Wrigley ivy growing on the wall. And then Little Field of Dreams is a really extensive process. They just did it this past week. They actually bring in corn stalks to plant in the back, and they're exclusively off limits. If you go in the corn stalks, you're in deep trouble with the umpires.
Last year, you guys shattered the tournament fundraising record with $615,024. Obviously, you want to top that this year. But is there a magic number you guys have that you want to raise this year?
Well, I think what we did this year as a whole group, the foundation is shooting again to reach that 600,000 mark, and we want to be able to reach that mark. I know when the tournament started back in 2002, they raised $4,000. So that shows you how far this tournament has come over the years, and it's really, really impressive. And the money count is always the most impressive thing. I know the first year I went there, I was only there as a wiffle ball player. I didn't raise any money. I didn't really know much about the charity. And during the money count, when they were announcing the numbers of how much money was raised, I got choked up. I was crying. I'm not ashamed to admit it. And I knew right then and there that I had to be a part of, the fundraising and really getting knee deep in all that stuff. But I'm hoping personally we reach that 700,000 mark. I'd like to see it just keep raising by 100,000 each year.
The 16th annual Travis Roy Foundation Wiffle Ball Tournament, August 11th to the 13th in Essex, Vermont. All funds go to the Travis Roy Foundation that benefits creating awareness for people with spinal cord injuries. Anthony, how can everyone in the Capital Region help out? Where do they go to help out?
So I'm going to share with you guys my personal donation page. So what you can do on there is, I'm sure you'll have it in the post or wherever. The link will be out there, but you can donate right online. It's very simple. It's all secure and easy to sign up. And you just, type in your name, number, and it pretty much walks you through the process. My personal goal this year was to try and raise 20 different donations of $20 or more. They have what's called the 2020 Club. And so if you can get 20 different people to donate $20 a piece or more, you're part of the 2020 Club. So I'm hoping that some of the Capital Region can help me out with reaching that goal.
Absolutely, I'm sure they can. They've done it before when we've asked for help for donations and causes. They've come through each and every time. Anthony, thank you for the time, and we look forward to hearing how you guys do and how much money you guys raise for the Travis Roy Foundation.
Yeah, man. Thanks for letting us come on. Appreciate it.